All right, I got 5 o'clock. Before I open the meeting here, we'll just daily meeting stuff that we gotta say. Anyone that would like to speak, sign in the podium. Please be respectful of the stuff you guys say. Remember, keep all comments brief and respectful. If any concern has been brought up before, please refrain from discussing the same things. We'll go ahead and open and call this meeting to order for August 20th. Grace, can I have a roll call, please?
Mike Nichols.
Here.
Scott Highlander.
Here.
Sam Payne. Isaac Chavez.
Present.
Charles Bates.
Here.
Okay, taking a look at the minutes, we don't have everyone here with Sam, and some of these minutes kind of vary with a person that wasn't here from the meeting before. So all the meetings from May 14th, June 11th, July 9th, all need to be tabled. We'll open a motion to the board.
Why do they need to be tabled again, Isaac?
Not everyone that was present is here, and some are different. Like
Yeah, I can see
one
they're
is Sam
different.
missing, and then one is like me missing, and
Okay.
so we can.
I'll
do
make
it.
a motion, we table it. Is that what you need?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'll make a motion, we table the minutes, prior minutes.
Okay. First and a second, and that is for all 3 dates mentioned: May 14th, June 11th, July 9th. Can I have a roll call, please?
Mike Nichols.
Aye.
Scott Highlander.
Aye.
Isaac Chavez.
Aye.
Charles Bates.
Okay, moving on, just double checking with the board here that we have no conflict of interest with the petitions being presented tonight before us. Hearing none, moving forward. Just double checking here that we've not had any contact with any board members from said petitioners with is being discussed before us tonight. Hearing none, going forward. We'll take a look at new business. Public hearing docket 2025-012. Petitioner is Peyton Akerd requesting a special exception to allow the use of the drive-through window at the 28 East Overlay District. Mr. Don Stock, can we have the staff report, please?
Thank you, Mr. President and members of the BZA. Peyton Akerd is the applicant. The address that we're going to be discussing is at 1900 East Wabash Street in Frankfort, Indiana. The site characteristics is lot number 275 and 276 in the East Park Addition, second section to the city of Frankfort, Indiana, as the same as recorded in plot record 2, new page 118, and is commonly known as 1900 East Wabash Street in Frankfort, Indiana. The request is from the petitioner is requesting a special exception for approval of a drive-through window at any establishment. In the Unified Development Ordinance references, you're looking at 403 East State Road 28 Overlay District, 40304C. The following or similar uses are special exception uses in the East State Road 28 Overlay District. 1, drive-through window at any establishment. In Section 308, all street parking and loading, and in 30802, Section E, in addition to these required parking spaces, there shall be at least 2 vehicle stacking spaces for each gas pump at service stations and truck stops, at least 3 vehicle stacking spaces for each bay at car washes, and at least 6 vehicle stacking spaces for each window or terminal at drive-in financial institutions, fast food restaurants, photo finishing establishments, and other businesses with drive-up windows and facilities. The zoning of this property is roadside business, and the request analysis is from 203-11 special exception. From cases arising from their territorial jurisdiction, the Board of Zoning Appeals shall approve or deny all special exceptions from the term of the zoning ordinance, but only in the classes of case or in the situations specified in the zoning ordinance. The board may impose reasonable conditions and or comments pursuant to Indiana Code 3674-1015. A special exception shall be approved under this section if, after a public hearing, the board makes findings of facts in writing that, 1, the proposed use conforms to the district's provisions in which it will be located, and all general regulations of this ordinance. The drive-up window will be located on the east side of the building where it now exists. It will also have the necessary 6-vehicle stacking area as required by the 28 East Overlay District. 2, the proposed use shall not involve any element or cause any conditions that may be dangerous, injurious, or noxious to any other property or persons and shall comply with the performance standards herein. The restaurant is established in a former bank and an accountant's office. It will comply with the requirements for a drive-up window and parking. They shall comply with the performance standards herein and meet all requirements for vents and hoods in a kitchen permitted by the fire inspector. Number 3, the proposed use shall be sited, oriented, and landscaped so the relationship of its buildings and grounds, adjacent buildings and properties does not impair health, safety, general welfare, or comfort, and does not adversely affect the values of adjacent properties. The restaurant already has landscaping, and in section 403.053, if a parcel is already improved or an existing structure is expanded or remodeled within the overlay zoning fronting State Road 28, then that parcel or structure shall be subject to the regulations to the extent possible due space limitations as determined by the administrator and or plan commission and shall comply with the performance standards herein. 4, the proposed use shall produce a total environmental effect that is consistent with and not harmful to the environment of the neighborhood and will not impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of the surrounding properties for use already legally permitted in the district. B, residential. It's B residential to the west and north. It's a car wash to the east. South is a chiropractor's office. This parcel is zoned roadside business and landscaping requirements will be met to buffer the residential district. 5, the proposed use shall organize vehicular access and parking to minimize conflicting traffic movements on adjacent street. This project has 23 parking spaces, of which 1 will need handicap parking to be accessible, an entry off of Crescent Street and an exit off of Walnut Street. The Unified Development Ordinance requires 1 parking space for 4 customer seats plus 1 per employee. This will allow 86 customer parking and 4 employee parking spaces. The proposed use has taken or will take adequate measures to provide utilities, access roads, drainage, and other necessary facilities. This property already has all the necessary measures for the facility. The proposed use shall promote the objectives of this ordinance and shall be consistent with the City of Frankfort's comprehensive plan. On page 13 of the Comprehensive 2035 Plan, it reads roadside business. The land use category designates areas for commercial use where primary access is by automobile, but accommodations is made for bicycle and pedestrian access. These are along major arterial streets and are quite often included in planned shopping centers and clusters of buildings which share amenities as parking and access. In Frankfort, this land is located primarily along 28 East and West State Road corridor, and the area shall be landscaped and screened from nearby residential areas. The recommendation is that this special exception should be approved subject to the findings of facts in the staff report. I want to go through one more thing before we open it up for questions, and that is in 510 in the UDO, drive-in establishments, drive-in restaurants, financial services with drive-up windows, car washes, drive-up photo finishes, and other business with drive-up windows shall meet the following standards. In 510.01, principal access shall be from arterial and collector streets, which it is. 51002, the establishment shall be located a minimum of 500 feet from an automobile service station, commercial garage, or other drive-in establishments located on the same side of the street as measured by a line drawn from the right-of-way from the nearest existing access drive to the nearest proposed access drive for the planned drive-in establishment. This requirement shall not apply to businesses located along a designated service drive intended to serve multiple drive-up businesses, and that it meets those requirements because there's not an automobile service station or a commercial garage or another drive-in establishment within that area. 51003, parking, vehicle stacking spaces, buffer yards, and signs shall be applicable sections of this ordinances, and as we've already discussed in the findings, he has plenty of parking. And I think that you have a drawing that shows the 6 vehicle stacking spots that will be sufficient for the drive-up window to be accessible. So we are now open for questions. And the owner, Peyton, is here in case you have questions for him.
I have a question, and this is the layout. I thought it said there was access off of Wabash. Is there a driveway come off?
Not off of Wabash. It'll be coming off of Crescent,
Yeah, Crescent.
and then it'll come off the backside of Walnut Street, not Wabash.
Walnut, yeah, I got it in my head. Thank you.
Yeah.
I thought it was right. I'm familiar with the place. I didn't think there was anything off of 28 or whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it. Okay, great. That was the only question. That's a question I had.
I just had 2 questions. There's not a scale on this drawing. Is it each square 10 feet?
They're like 15 foot. I did my truck and I backed it up 6 times to make sure it would fit around there.
Okay.
But it'd probably get about 10 cars. You could probably make it about 10 cars
Around that area. And then what's your total projected number of seats in the restaurant?
So right now I have 49 where I'm at, and I plan on keeping 49 because for insurance purposes and
It's a
everything
good
else
number.
for right now, because it keeps it under for fire safety too. So you get into a whole other mess and get much.
This would be the same, if I understand correctly, Don, this is the same kind of approval that we would have given to Culver's.
That's right.
It's in.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
He's not, like, it could potentially, in the bank was set up for 2 lanes. This will not be. It'll just be a single window drive-up. So I probably should have put that in there.
By that time I get a remodel inside, I'd love to take the canopy down, to have it just open up to see more parking spots, so.
Oh, I see, yeah.
I thought you were going to do an overhead pizza delivery thing.
Well, I've seen them with like
By the slice.
Yeah, I've seen some of those. Yeah, that's my
That would be
goal.
awesome if you had that much business, that you had to stack 2.
Hey, he's coming into a good location. There's going to be a lot of people know where he's at.
Yeah.
I got a question. What's the difference between now and what it was when it was a restaurant before? It was a bank before, though, wasn't
It was a bank.
it? Okay.
It was created to be a bank, and then Damon's came in.
And the bank really used to drive through.
Yes.
More than, Damon's probably didn't use to drive through.
No, I don't think they use it at all.
No, they don't.
Okay, I was just curious.
There's a glass panel right there too. All I'm gonna do is take the glass out and put a sliding glass in, not moving any of the bricks or anything. It's plenty big for the window in there.
And if we want to talk about parking, a great question by you, sir, is that on the back side, as you walk out or drive out through Walnut Street, there are parking spaces there, and more than likely that will be for employees to park at, not in the front section.
I mean, I did have one other thought. Are you planning on restricting it to try to be entrance only, exit only? I don't think you would
I'm
need
not
to.
going to.
I'm really, that right there on Crescent.
You know, I'd rather be going both ways.
Yeah, I don't,
I'd keep cut, if I take that canopy, I plan on just doing maybe another 5 or 6 parking spots, like angled, so you can get in and out with the drive-through and still have that as an exit and entrance back there.
That's not existent right now, is it? Like an exit?
there's no
into-
restriction
okay.
right now. It's entrance, exit.
I've never been in that area. I've just driven by it.
And there's I don't know how far back it is off of Wabash, but it's decent
it's
enough
back
that
in
there's
good
plenty of room
place.
to clear out.
It's just nice for a restaurant to have two entrances or two exits, however you want to put it. So it makes for a lot easier for traffic.
This is a nosy business thing. So you have you have Bruno's, and you're out at the other, out by, what do you call it, the other place, right?
Brother's Food.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you'll close that and move it?
Yes, my lease is up there December 31st. It's either, well, I'm arguing with the landlord right now because he doesn't know I'm moving yet, but he
Oh,
says
this is-
January
He does
31st. He
not.
said it's 37 months. I said it's 36 months, but he said it was 37 months. I said, so it might be January 31st, but yeah, we'll leave that location.
Well, this is on tape and everything recorded, not at you. So your landlord may know. I apologize for
That's
that.
all right. He'll find us. We don't live around here.
Okay.
All right, any other discussion on staff report? Okay, hearing none. Thank you, Don. Any other comments from the petitioner, Peyton, Mr. Aker?
Unless you got any other questions.
Okay, hearing none, we'll open discussion for the public. Hearing none, public discussion's closed. Open discussion up back for the board. Any additional questions? Hearing none, discussion for the board's closed. I'll now open a motion to the board.
I'll make a motion. I'll make the motion that we approve docket number 2025-012,
I'll second it.
subject to the analysis or the
Findings of facts.
findings of fact. Thank you, Don.
I'll second.
First and a second, roll call, please.
Mike Nichols.
Aye.
Scott Highlander.
Aye.
Sam Payne.
Aye.
Isaac Chavez.
Aye.
Charles Bates.
Aye.
Thought it was 5:30, didn't you, brother?
Yes, I did.
Did the pad work for you when you?
No. Ring the
I
bell,
opened up the door.
but the wedge wasn't in it.
No, you hit the pad. If you'd hit the pad, it'd pop. It should have popped right open. I unlocked it. I'll check on it.
That's all right. I was with Leo. I had to go down and check on Leo, and I thought, I got plenty of time. I'm gonna check that and lock the building up and put all the tools inside. And I'll be here in plenty of time. I'll pull around the corner. That's pretty good.
All right, here, fellas, motion carries. We have any other old business?
We do not. I do want to go over the fact that we are working on, for both the BZA and the Plan Commission, a set of kind of rules in case we get into a large crowd, to make sure that we're doing the proper things as far as how long people can talk, how they go about doing it. So we're going to set that up. Alicia is working on that, and then we'll probably be bringing it to you, saying that this will be the way that we'll handle in case we get into situations where we have the potential of large crowds. That would also mean that if we get into having more people that can be here, that we may have to, I don't want to use the right word, move. We would have to move maybe to the library. So we would take the meeting from here to the library and finish up down there if we. So those are the things that we're working on. A lot of it came across, of course, from the Plan Commission meeting before they pulled out the data center process. It allowed us to start thinking about being prepared for large crowds. So we'll be bringing that to you one day soon. I can't tell you about, or don't know about anything that's coming unless Grace can in the following months. But things are kind of, as in wintertime, starting to slow down a little bit, which sometimes is a good thing, sometimes not. So, but as of right now, this may be the last thing for a little while.
I'm sorry.
Quick question here for House. If the minutes have already been tabled,
You can take them off table.
we take it? All right.
Yep. Have a motion to do that.
All right. Can I get a motion to do that?
I'll make the motion to take the minutes off the table.
Okay, minutes are back on the table for,
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from May 14th, June,
We will have to do them individually because I was not here for one.
oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
That's no problem. Can I do the first one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes from the May 14th meeting.
I'll second. First and a second. Can I get roll call, please?
Mike Nichols,
Aye.
Scott Highlander,
Aye.
Sam Payne,
Aye.
Isaac Chavez,
Aye.
Charles Bates.
Abstain if you weren't here.
I abstain. Tell them to look up the-
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, we will now open a motion for minutes from June 11th.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for June 11th, 2025.
I'll second.
Hold on.
You can't second.
Yeah, you were not here.
I wasn't?
For June 11th, I will,
Mike Nichols is on there. Oh, not present, Mike and Charles. Okay.
I will second. First and a second, roll call, please.
Mike Nichols,
Abstain.
Scott Highlander,
Aye.
Isaac Chavez,
Aye.
Sam Payne,
Aye.
Charles Bates.
I abstain.
Okay, open a motion for minutes from July 9th.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for July 9th.
I'll second.
First and a second, roll call, please.
Mike Nichols,
Aye.
Scott Highlander,
Aye.
Sam Payne,
Aye.
Isaac Chavez,
Abstain.
Charles Bates.
Aye.
Good catch. Thank you.
Finally got that done.
Thank you, that's good. That's good to clean that up, yeah.
All right, any other old business?
That's all that I have, sir.
I have a question, Don. This is just a more of a general question. All this stuff with the data, is that going to reflect back on the city thing? Not reflect back, I guess, but we approved our
did.
particular piece of property.
You did.
And, but for them to actually build something there, they have to, there's other things that has to happen, right?
They do. and
Besides
you-
our zoning. I
And
mean.
you want me to explain the process that they have to go through to get what it is they're wanting to do?
Sure, I'd like to. if you-
I sure happy to do that. So the first thing that they have to do is, once they develop their strategy or their plan, that plan then has to go before the drainage board, the county drainage board, to see if it's in need of any type of a retention or holding pond. If there is one that's required, then two things take place. One, somebody has to draw up the plan, the holding facility. That then goes to the airport board, and then it comes to us also as it goes to Westlers. As Westlers will have to go through it and make sure that the pond is being built according to our requirements. So if that goes through and everything is fine, then the airport board will oversee the pond. It'll oversee the height structure, depending on how high they take these structures. And then the development plan will have to come back before the plan commission. They'll have to approve that. Now, the plan commission only has one thing that they can do, and that is if the development plan meets all the requirements of the UDO, then they have to pass that. So there's no, they can't just deny it because they don't like the project. If it meets, they've got to accept it. So is there a way for it to come back to you? The answer to that is yes. So the way that it would come back to this board is if they need variances. So let's say their buildings are going to be more closer to each other than 10 foot apart. Or maybe there's other things that they are required to do and they decide they're not going to. That would then bring that back here to this board for your approval or disapproval of the variances. So those are the steps that they've got to take for the property that's in the city limits, 115 acres.
The one that we gave the.
Special exception to.
Right, okay.
So they still have a lot of hoops to jump through. I know a lot of people thought that this would be something that would be fired up and going by now, but it's from the very get-go, when we were dealing with this in April, I felt like if they got anything rolling before March or April of next year, that'd be amazing, just because of all the things they have to do to get to the final line.
Does that have to go to the Board of Works for approval too?
It does not.
So the one that, I guess the thing that concerns me the most, or not concerns me, but really concerned me about that we approved it, is that the information that I know is that data centers can be a good thing or bad thing or in between, all depending on how the trade goes, so to speak. You know, what they're going to do for us versus what we're doing for them. Where does that come in? In other words, they want to build a center, and we say, okay, well, you can build it, but we really want you to support the school system, or we really want you to we need to do this or this before we'll approve it.
Yeah,
where does that get in?
That's between whoever is looking for funding and the business. If it gets placed and gets started, that will not. I mean, we have no fight in that or no connection to that at all. For us,
the people that are going to build, you mean?
Whoever.
Let's say Google. Let's say it's Google or someone
Okay,
comes in.
so it would be between Google and if the school wanted money and they wanted some side of support, the school would go out and have that discussion with them, not us. We wouldn't have anything. The thing that benefits the city of Frankfort is the tax dollars that would be generated from both the businesses, the business being built, and the property, and that's how the city would be engaged in any type of funding. It would offset property taxes or how all that works out. But as far as any of their donations, or that's between the company and the people wanting to donate, not anything with us.
So after this goes all through the approval, what's the cards that we're holding? We, the community. What's the cards that we're holding with to approve somebody building something there? Somebody, you know, they're going to come in. They don't want to do anything. They just want to build. How do we counter that?
They have to draw up their plans just like any other business, and they would have to come before the plan commission with their developmental plans.
Well, I'm not worried about the developmental plans.
Okay.
I'm worried about what's the city going to get out of this? The community, what's the community going to get out of this? I know we're going to get some jobs. We would potentially get some jobs. We could potentially get some. But if we want to get more than that, how is it negotiated by whom? In other words, we got a landfill out there that according to the newspaper, they negotiated a better rate. What's our cards?
So first of all,
or what's our
when you're talking about the landfill and developing rates, and that would be between the commissioners and.
Oh, I know it's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about some type of a donation, so let's say the school wants to build, I don't know, a brand new football field, and they want to call it the Google football field. That conversation would be between the Google company and the school board.
But if you don't want Google to build here, and Google saying we want to build here, okay, so what are you going to do for us? Who negotiates that?
Well, I mean, I guess I'm not quite understanding the conversation that you're wanting to have.
Well, who negotiates to get as much as we can from a developer? And and you can get a lot, or you can just give away the store and say, just go ahead and build your thing, you know. And all we get is taxes. What can we get that's more than taxes? Because that's not.
It's
Get the fire station.
Well,
That had to be negotiated.
Well, what I'm trying to do is not get myself wrapped up into that. So if it's something that has to deal with the city of Frankfort, then it would be the commissioner or it'd be the council people. If it's something that has to do with an independent business, it'll be the independent business talking with them. I mean, it's not going to be us who says, hey, you know, now that we've passed your developmental plan, we want you to build 15 schools. And no, we're not. I mean, we're not going to do that. That's not what we do. Mm-hmm. But if the fire department wants something and the the council wants to talk to Google about purchasing those things, they could do that. But you're not going to hold them hostage saying that, hey, if you don't donate, $5 million towards a center out at the high school, you can't do that. I mean, that's not part of the process.
From what I understand is, when NHK built on the other side of this interstate, the agreement was that they would help build the new fire station.
I don't know anything about
Had to
that.
be negotiated somewhere in the line or be talked about.
Well, if that is the case, then that would have been between the mayor and NHK. And then the mayor would have gone to the council, and that's how that would have been handled. But none of that's going to get handled through any of these boards or any of these discussions that we're having.
I think NHK just wanted surety that we had protection out there because it was a part of the annexation, and we had certain deadlines to meet to have protection out that way. So it wasn't necessarily just NHK getting the fire. As a part of expanding that way and getting business out that way, that we needed the fire to be out
I'm
there.
not against the fire, I'm just saying, I'm listening.
And Mike, and it just comes down to shareholders, stakeholders, the people that want to see something that they may need or want.
Yeah.
It comes down to those conversations. Unfortunately, we have nothing to do with that other than seeing any kind of tax revenue that may benefit the city of Frankfurt.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing that was brought up was that being that we passed, what was it the BZA approved? It was the variance?
Special exception for them to build in an industrial
Everybody
park.
was saying it was approved to build. I said, no.
No, you gave them permission to. It can now be built in the industrial zoned area because you granted them a special exception.
Right.
But they still have several.
Many
That's right.
other hurdles.
They can't just start putting buildings out there. That will stop.
We did not approve them building. We approved a special exception that they got to go through the proper channels. And I said, one of them is the airport's going to have a big say in this problem.
And so will the county drainage.
You put that pond in out there and the height of your buildings, I said, guys, there's a lot of steps that
Yeah.
gotta go. And I said, if them buildings are too tall, that's right in the runway path. They're not going to approve that at the airport.
And
Well,
Go ahead.
I understand, and I think I understand that part of it. So we almost, if we ever had that meeting, we almost were in a position to approve 700 additional acres that was converted from, annexed by us and converted to general business or whatever they, we were almost in a position to, I'm on, that's
Plan Commission. Okay.
so
Yeah, I
I'm
was going to say this board was not. But
Yes, okay, I'm on the planning commission. So in the planning commission, we were almost, I mean, I realize it's not the final, it's got to go, but we were almost in a position of approving that.
What you would have done would have been the last, if I know we're way off of board of what we're doing here, but if it would have gone before the Plan Commission, and if it would have passed, it would have been the last thing that they would have done to move forward on the project, and that's because it has to be annexed before it can be rezoned. So you were giving them permission that if it got rezoned, that it would then be zoned general business. That's what you were going to do. If it never got annexed, then the zoning would go away. Everything you did wouldn't amount to anything. So it basically would fall back onto the council and the Plan Commission, well, basically the council for the annexation of the property. So if they never annexed, what you did would have made no meaning to it at all.
Okay, so that was canceled anyway because the company canceled it. But now the company has come back, apparently,
Going to the area plan.
go into area plan, which is the county, because it's still county property. And now they're doing the same process, well, not the same process, well, they have the same
Kinda the
process,
same process.
with us to
Yeah.
get those next 115 acres or whatever. Is that correct?
They are now not going after the full 700 acres. They've zeroed way back. Matter of fact, when I saw the plans this week of what's going before the area plan, it's what I thought they were going to do once they left us. And it's just a smaller section on the other side of the railroad track. I can't think of the county roads that
bounds.
that will surround it, but it's a lot, it's less property than what it was prior to coming before the Plan Commission. So it's a smaller area.
They never mentioned nothing to us about 700 acres in our meeting.
No, because it was a thought that they may do that when, if you, he talked about after he got the special exception that they may expand. They had a meeting with a group up in Chicago, and that is what pushed the extra property.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you.
All in favor, aye. Aye.
I'm sorry, guys, I didn't mean, I just trying to keep up with this,
You're doing all right, brother.
what's going on here.
I am, man. School started, football practice is going, first game's this week.